words. 3 words you've probably heard hundreds of times: gaslighting, narcissist, love bombing. They're everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, podcasts, even in everyday conversations. Today, these words are used to explain failed relationships, toxic friendships, difficult parents, controlling partners, and even bad first dates. But here's the question: what if millions of people are using these words the wrong way? What if a simple lie isn't gaslighting? What if confidence isn't narcissism? What if falling in love quickly isn't love bombing? Suddenly, these words stop helping us understand people and start making us misunderstand them. That's exactly what's happening today. Psychology has entered the internet faster than ever before, but somewhere along the way, the science started getting lost. Mental health experts have warned that psychological terms are increasingly being used far beyond their original clinical meaning. These words weren't invented by social media. They weren't created by influencers, and they were never meant to describe every uncomfortable relationship. They came from psychology, from decades of research, clinical observation, and real human experiences. But the internet gave them a new life, a simpler life, a louder life, and sometimes a completely different meaning. In this documentary, we're going back to the evidence. We'll uncover what gaslighting actually means, why calling everyone a narcissist can do more harm than good, and why love bombing is far more complicated than most viral videos suggest. Because by the end of this video, you may discover that the biggest psychological myth isn't a person, it's the meaning of the words themselves. Let's begin. To understand why the word gaslighting is so widely misunderstood today, we have to go back almost 100 years, long before social media, long before psychology became a trend online. In 1938, a stage play called Gaslight introduced the world to a chilling form of manipulation. A few years later, the story reached millions through a Hollywood film. At first, nothing seems unusual. A husband and wife living together, going through ordinary life. But slowly, strange things begin to happen. The gas lights in the house grow dim. Small objects mysteriously disappear. Unexplained sounds echo through the rooms. Every time the wife notices, her husband calmly tells her, "You're imagining it. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong." Day after day, week after week, he repeats the same pattern until something begins to change. Not the house, but her mind. She starts questioning her own memory, then her judgment, then her perception of reality itself. That story is where the word gaslighting comes from. And today, mental health professionals use it to describe something very specific. Gaslighting is not simply lying. It is not winning an argument. It is not remembering an event differently. Real gaslighting is a deliberate and repeated pattern of psychological manipulation, designed to make another person doubt their own memory, their perception, and eventually, their sense of reality. The goal isn't just to deceive someone, it's to make them stop trusting themselves. And once that happens, they become easier to control. But here's where the internet changed everything. Today, someone disagrees with you. That's gaslighting. Someone forgets what they said. That's gaslighting. Someone has a different memory of a conversation. That's gaslighting. But psychology doesn't define the word that way. One disagreement doesn't make someone a gaslighter. One lie doesn't make someone a gaslighter. One misunderstanding doesn't make someone a gaslighter. What matters is the pattern, the repetition, the intention, and the gradual erosion of another person's confidence in their own reality. That's the difference between an ordinary conflict and one of the most damaging forms of emotional manipulation. And once you understand that difference, you'll never hear the word gaslighting the same way again. If there's one psychology word that social media has almost completely redefined, it's this one: narcissist. Today, the label is everywhere. Your ex is a narcissist. Your boss is a narcissist. Your neighbor is a narcissist. Even celebrities are diagnosed by complete strangers every single day. But psychology tells a very different story. The truth is, narcissism is not simply a personality type. It's a spectrum. Every human being has narcissistic traits. We all enjoy compliments. We all want to feel respected. We all protect our self-esteem. We all want to be appreciated. None of those things are signs of a mental disorder. In fact, A healthy level of confidence is considered an important part of psychological well-being, but somewhere, healthy confidence ends, and something much more serious begins. That's where narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, comes in. NPD is not an internet label. It's a clinical personality disorder diagnosed by qualified mental health professionals using specific diagnostic criteria over a long period of time, not after one argument, not after one bad relationship, and definitely not after watching a 60-second video online. People living with NPD often experience long-term patterns, such as an excessive need for admiration, a deep sense of entitlement, difficulty showing empathy, and intense emotional reactions when their self-image feels threatened. But even here, reality is more complicated than the internet suggests, because no two people with NPD look exactly the same, and many people who show narcissistic traits would never meet the clinical criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. That's why psychologists warn us against diagnosing people based on short clips, personal opinions, or viral checklists. Human behavior is never explained by one moment, or one mistake, or one personality trait. And that's the danger of turning clinical language into everyday insults, because once every selfish person becomes a narcissist, we stop recognizing what the disorder actually is. And when that happens, the science gets buried under the algorithm. But perhaps no psychology term has spread faster in recent years than the next one: love bombing. Now, let's talk about the psychology term that has exploded across social media faster than almost any other. Love bombing. Today, the internet often describes it as the ultimate red flag. Too many compliments? Love bombing. Too many messages? Love bombing. Expensive gifts? Love bombing. Saying, "I think you're the one," too early? Love bombing. But here's the question: can genuine love ever move quickly? The answer is yes. Healthy relationships can begin with excitement. Two people may spend hours talking. They may text all day. They may feel an instant connection. None of that automatically means manipulation. So, what actually makes love bombing different? It isn't the amount of affection, it's the purpose behind it. In a healthy relationship, affection creates trust, respect, safety, and freedom. Both people can set boundaries. Both people can slow things down. Both people can say no without fear. But in a manipulative relationship, the affection often has another goal: to create emotional dependence, to gain influence, to make the other person feel that walking away would mean losing everything. And once that emotional bond is strong enough, the pattern may suddenly change. The attention fades. The compliments disappear. Criticism replaces admiration. Control replaces connection. And confusion replaces certainty. That's why psychologists focus not on one romantic gesture, but on the pattern over time. One gift doesn't prove manipulation. One weekend together doesn't prove manipulation. One emotional message doesn't prove manipulation. Context matters, intent matters, and repeated behavior matters most, because when we mistake genuine affection for manipulation, we risk becoming afraid of healthy relationships. But when we ignore a repeated pattern of control, we may miss the warning signs that truly matter. And that's where all three of these words finally connect: gaslighting, narcissism, love bombing. Three different ideas, one common mistake: using powerful psychological terms without understanding what they really mean. So, what have we really learned? Three words: gaslighting, narcissism, love bombing. None of them are fake. None of them are internet inventions. They all come from real psychological concepts, studied for years, researched carefully, and used with purpose. But somewhere between scientific research, viral content, and millions of social media posts, their meanings began to change. Today, a disagreement becomes gaslighting. Confidence becomes narcissism. Excitement becomes love bombing. And when every uncomfortable experience receives a psychological label, those labels slowly lose their power. The people experiencing real psychological abuse become harder to recognize, and the conversations that truly matter become harder to have. That's why psychology should never be reduced to a hashtag, a 60-second video, or a list of warning signs. Human behavior is complicated. Human relationships are complicated, and real psychology is built on evidence, context, and careful observation. So, the next time you hear someone say, they're a narcissist, that's gaslighting, or this is love bombing, don't ask whether the words sound convincing. Ask whether the evidence supports them, because understanding psychology isn't about memorizing labels. It's about learning how people really think, really behave, and really suffer. If this documentary helped you see these words differently, you're exactly the kind of person this channel was created for. Here at Primaire Studio, we don't follow viral psychology, we follow the evidence. And in our next documentary, we'll investigate another psychology topic that's been viewed, shared, and misunderstood by millions. Until then, stay curious, stay skeptical, keep asking better questions, because the moment we stop questioning is often the moment we stop learning. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next documentary.